So we are live. So welcome to this evening's Ask a Karen. This is where I interview the members so that it gives them an opportunity to share a little bit about what they do and who they help. Because every coach is different. Every coach, what does coach actually mean? Every coach is helping different people do different things, right? So if people are out there looking for a coach, how do they find the right one if they don't know what they do? So today's guest, well, Claire, I'll allow you to share with the audience a little bit about your story and what you do.
Yeah. So I'm the founder of Poppy Dreams. As you can see in the milkshake, it's under Poppy Dreams rather than my actual name. My nickname is Poppy, and I'm all about my personal mission is to get everyone going for their dreams. So that's kind of how the amalgamation of Poppy Dreams came about. Wow. I come from a finance background, so I studied accounting and finance, and now in my business, I coach busy professionals transition from their 9-to-5 to a career of a lifetime without sacrificing their financial stability. I'm also a motivational speaker on top of that, where I like to talk about things like busting procrastination and self-sabotage. And I'm a big advocate for mental health as well.
Fantastic. And I suppose that really is a tough thing for people, especially I would say, when you're on a good income, you're pretty stable and and you realize, as I'm sure many have in the last couple of years with what's gone on, that maybe they're not on purpose and maybe something else is what they're more destined to do. However, I can imagine it being quite a scary place because, it's a little bit different if things change and you come into a transition. But if you're already in a very well paid job, and I am going to use money as a thing because, the bottom line, this is how we deal with things. And if you've got bills to pay and a big mortgage and kids, it's not as easy, or the perception of it is not as easy initially to actually make that jump, which is why I suppose it's so important to have a coach because, otherwise things could go wrong very quickly, I would imagine. Would that be so?
Yeah. And, I think most people's perception is that they have to jump from one to the next, but they know also when they're jumping from one to a new thing in particular, they're probably going to be on a lower pay scale. So I help kind of either help with additional income so that they can make that jump if it is a lower paid grade, or if it's something that they want to do more gradual, then that's the steps that we then take because, some people are ready just to leave, drop everything and go now. Some people still want the security and only want to jump when they're at least at a certain threshold of their previous income.
Right. And I suppose this is the thing. I suppose with everything, it would be down to, everything has a price, I suppose. So it's either time or money.
Yes.
So if you're going to do it slowly, you've got to be prepared to put in the work. You've got to be prepared to do the extra time on top of your working hours. And for some that can be, and I do get it because it doesn't happen overnight, right? Anything worthwhile, and there's a learning curve to it all. So I can imagine it being, I know that I've seen that, the biggest challenge is transitioning from being an employee to a business owner.
Yeah.
And that would make sense. If you're thinking about doing it, then get the right advice rather than winging it. So how do you help how do you help people, and do you sort of do you focus on any one particular sort of niche, or are you just helping anybody that wants to transition?
So I don't have a niche to just helping them transition from one job or career to another. But I have a 12 8-session program where we then go through 11 different elements and key skills to be able to get them into action towards this new job that, you know, hopefully will be more fulfilling, more purposeful, and more meaningful. And if it's also a better income, then bonus, right? Because we sometimes get stuck in that, oh, I need thousands of money, you know, thousands of pounds or dollars or any whatever currency to even make that switch.
Yeah.
And you don't.
No.
And yeah, so it's just taking them bit by bit through all the different elements to really gain clarity on each section, to getting them out of their own way effectively and getting them into motion.
Awesome. And that's it, you know. I'm a great believer. You got to do what you love, and I suppose the difficult thing is, I think a lot of people, you know, at the end of the day, you leave school, you're still a child, really. Come on, and you know, some go on to uni, and they may just choose a degree that, you know, they're not even that passionate about, that they think they should be doing, and then of course then they fall into a job that again they think they should be doing, and then you're caught in the trap, right? You're caught in the, you know, you have got bills to pay, and then it's a little bit more of a challenge. And I do think it's a shame that some aren't following their dreams because of, I suppose, a bit of fear, isn't it? Obviously there's fear. If we had no fear at all, you would just go and do anything you wanted, right?
Absolutely, yes. No, I mean, I've been renowned for being a bit of a fussy eater. So whenever I travel to new places, I make myself eat something new just to get into that, you know, that fear, that scare, and then overcoming it, because that's where your strength is. Because it may seem only small, but to me, it's like huge.
Yeah, but then that makes it, again, it's if you can do these smaller things, it's going to give you the confidence to then tackle the things that are bigger moving forward, right? You got to, you know, some people dive in at the deep end and others need baby steps, and there's no right or wrong, and it will depend on the person and their personality, and whatever works, right? Whatever works.
Yeah, I remember when I first took my first like overseas travel, I did a trip up to Scotland as my baby steps, because I was like, I can still get the train home, or my dad can come and get me.
Right, there's a backup. Whereas I was always a little bit more of a spontaneous, not thinker. So I think I don't know whether I should say this story. I was 17 when I first. Can you? You're going to be younger, but used to get the 1 year passports. The 1 year paper passports from the post office. So I was only 17. I was very. I'm such a rebellious child. I did actually pretend that was my mother's signature, because I still needed a signature when I was 17. And I just went off to Ibiza, and I didn't come home for 3 months. But so everybody has their different risk factors.
Yeah.
We are all different. My way was the wrong way to do anything. However, I suppose it has made me a little bit more, you know, I will take risks a bit easier than some. I don't know whether I should have said that on here. Anyway, so today then, Claire, do you have any question that will help the other members with their businesses?
So I know that, you know, we all know that entrepreneurship and business owners is a hard graft. And what I want to kind of bring back is positivity. So what I'd like to know is, what is your favorite part of growing your business?
The best part, and the only thing I really want to do, is the actual coaching. You know, all the rest, you know, at the end of the day, I think anybody gets into whether they're a coach, therapist, whatever it is they do, it's because they love doing what they're doing. It's like teachers, right? Teachers, they go into teaching initially, I would have thought, so this is my perception.
My best friend's a teacher, so.
Oh, okay. And I'm sure they love what they do. They love helping the children, helping them, seeing them grow. And then they're bogged down with bureaucracy.
Yep.
And that makes it not much.
Yeah,
like
he said there was a lot more work to it than just showing up and teaching the kids.
Which is a shame, because that's what they do the best. Let them do what they do best. The children will flourish.
Yes.
All this. So, but we know when we start out, we've got to do everything ourselves.
Mm.
Unless we've got an endless supply of funds, right? That's the bottom line. However, when you get to a certain stage, yes, my answer would be as soon as you can, get somebody that is an expert in the other side of things that maybe you're not so skillful at, that you don't enjoy as much, to take over that. So I have to say, I wouldn't be able to run my business without my VA. She does so much for me, because I don't like.
She's lovely.
Kind of. Oh, bless. Oh, you think.
Yes, she is lovely.
She is, isn't she? Isn't she amazing? I want to do the coaching. I want to be helping my clients. That's what I want to do. And yes, we know there's admin and there's spreadsheets and there's this and there's that. And I'll create the content and I'll do the coaching. That's what I want to focus on, because that's why I got in it in the beginning. Yeah. So my advice would be, start when you get there, just start outsourcing as soon as you can with the lesser, just as important, but at the end of the day, your money making jobs that you need to do are the content creation, or maybe doing a sales calls, right? So then siphon off some of the things that you don't like so much, because when we love what we do, we're going to go forward a lot quicker, right?
Yeah. So kind of the sooner we can kind of outsource or even possibly eliminate it to some degree. The smaller tasks.
It doesn't have to be massive, does it? It doesn't have to be the massive things. Start bit by bit. That frees you up to do a little bit more of the stuff that you love, and then you can grow that way. But truth be known, if you want to build a real business, I'm not talking about and there is no judgment here, because some people are quite happy just having a side hustle, and that's great. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the people that actually really want to turn it into a real business. Treat it as a real business. Any company you wouldn't be doing all the roles, would you? Any company.
No, that's true. Yeah.
You employ the people that are good at that task, good at that task, good at that task. So when you're ready to turn it into a real business, yes, focus on that. Does that help?
Yeah, no, it does a lot.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time, Claire. I wish you all the best. Anybody listening and want to get in touch with Claire, her details are down below. And to the rest of you, I will be back again in a couple of days with Ask Karen.